Hey everybody, welcome back to Motorcycle.com. Now, it's not every day that we do a gear review for the YouTube site here, but I feel like this one's important enough to do because I've now got real world experience, which I'll explain real soon. A couple months back, you may or may not remember that I got hit by a car. And in case you didn't see it or you forgot about it, here's a clever replay to show you, well, the aftermath, because we missed the actual collision. Hit it, Sean! So that's a pretty freaky accident, right? Nobody wants to get hit by a car, obviously, but as you can tell, I'm standing here in one piece pretty much A-okay, and I credit a lot of that to the safety gear I was wearing. In fact, I credit all of it to the safety gear I was wearing, but specifically, I credit this. The Alpinestars Tech-Air 5 airbag vest for pretty much allowing me to walk away from that crash injury-free. You may or may not have heard about airbag vests recently. They're making huge strides, but it's not a new technology. Alpinestars and other companies out there have been developing airbag vests. In the case of Alpinestars, this has been in development for 20 odd years now, because as you can see, this is one independent system. There's no cords that go to your motorcycle, no tethers, no nothing. This is completely independent that you wear on your body. And in the case of the Tech-Air 5 here, this is something you wear underneath your riding jacket. Any jacket, really, that allows you, again, 4 centimeters of space to allow for the expansion. It doesn't have to be an Alpinestars jacket, just anything that allows 4 centimeters of space. That's really important to allow the expansion, which I'll get to in a second. But first, let's talk about, well, what is this thing exactly? What is the Tech-Air airbag system? Well, a really quick history. Alpinestars developed the Tech-Air airbag, the original ones, to go inside of racing suits. They zipped in, and then later on there was a street version that zips into like street jackets. But those, like I said, they zip into those garments that you have to wear together. With the Tech-Air 5, like I said before, you wear this independently of your street jacket. This is primarily a street airbag vest for street jackets. You wear it underneath your jacket, so you might be wondering now, like, how does it work if it's completely independent? Well, the magic ingredients, the secret sauce, is all here within this back protector. By the way, there is a full CE level 1 back protector right here too. But encased in here are all the brains. There's an ECU in the center of it, and then there's 6 sensors. There's 3 gyroscopes and 3 accelerometers. What all those things are doing basically is monitoring your body movement and your body positioning on the bike, accounting for things even as simple as the vibration of the motorcycle's engine. Like, it can feel all of that as you're riding along, and there's a set of parameters that defines like just normal riding, aggressive riding, cruising, whatever it may be. The ECU knows all that, and that's why it's taken 20 plus years to develop those algorithms to allow the ECU to understand what those sensors are talking about. If you know, this is high level math kind of a stuff, and it's over my head too. But the point is, it's taken 20 plus years, and they're still developing these algorithms to know exactly what normal riding is like, and then also to know what happens physically to the body in a crash, to sense it, and then to say, okay, it's time to inflate, time to expand the airbags to protect the rider. So, you know, normal riding where you're just moving along like this or bumping from the vibrations in the road, it knows those things, but you know, something like that happens, and That's clearly not a normal thing to happen on a motorcycle. That's how it knows to inflate. And so when a crash occurs, the ECU says, okay, there's a crash happening. It inflates the argon helium canisters, and it can inflate the entire airbag between 20 to 40 milliseconds, depending on what size vest you get. Obviously, a small vest will be 20 milliseconds. The XL or XXL will take longer just because it's a physically larger bag. As you can see, it's a full vest. So the coverage area, let me show you. Put it on like a jacket, like a vest. There's a magnetic clasp at the bottom. Zip it up, and then there's a magnet within this flap that then turns on the airbag. So the coverage area protects your ribs, protects your collarbones and your shoulders, even down to half your arm length, really. And then your entire back underneath the pre-existing back protector there. Full upper body coverage in the case of a crash. And in my particular case, when I got hit by that car, I ended up flying in the air, and then I could feel, as I was midair, I could feel this compression in my chest, and I thought, huh, that's weird. And then I realized, oh, the airbag inflated. And so, you know, this stuff works. And so I hit the ground, did a somersault, came to a stop, and I came out pretty much A-okay. And I wondered what was going on, like how much impact did I take? The cool thing about this and other airbag vests out there, it records the data of your crash. And so in my particular case, the impact from me hitting the ground, I sustained about 18 Gs right here on my upper right shoulder. That's a big impact. If I wasn't wearing this, I'm sure I probably would have had a, I don't know, broken collarbone, just something pretty severe in my right shoulder area. Instead, I walked away. Pain-free, injury-free, a little soreness, but that's to be expected. So when you're wearing a second layer like this, there's a question of, well, does it block the airflow and the ventilation of your jacket? Well, it highly depends on the jacket you wear. As you can see behind me, to my left, there's a highly ventilated textile jacket, and then directly behind me is a much less ventilated leather jacket. The airflow depends on the jacket specifically, but there's no denying, yes, you are going to have a little bit less airflow when you're wearing the TechAir 5 airbag. Might be hard to tell on the screen, but the actual material here is this mesh type ventilated kind of material, and then the honeycomb on the back protector does allow a decent amount of airflow, but there's no hiding the fact this is a whole separate layer you're wearing underneath your jacket. It's going to block some airflow. Personally, I'd rather sweat than bleed, and only on the really hottest of days did I feel like it is a hindrance. And so, as I put this back up here, let's talk about a few other things about the TechAir 5 specifically. Charge time. There's a micro USB port on the back there. You charge it like any other device you have, say like your cell phone. You plug the micro USB in, and there's the lights on the front of it, the LED lights on the front. When they become solid, it's fully charged, which from a completely dead battery takes about, I think they said it's about 4 hours to go to a complete full charge. When it's fully charged, you've got 30 hours of riding time to have coverage, which is a lot if you aren't aware. What I haven't covered yet so far is the price. It's about $700 just for the TechAir 5 vest itself. And then in the event it does go off, you send it back to Alpinestars and they'll repack it and refurbish it and make sure everything's good. It's a couple $100. Pretty cheap insurance, considering you could be banged up in the hospital, and that'll cost you a whole lot more. But in the event you don't crash in it, there's other cool features too, like there's an app that you can access from your phone, the TechAir app, which tells you the status of the battery. There's also a feature called My Ride, where you can chart your route. Before you go ride, you click track my route, and you go on your ride, and it shows, where you went. And I've mentioned so far, jackets. For track riders out there, this is not meant specifically for wearing underneath your leathers, mainly because, it's kind of a thick and large system, and the algorithms and the software inside of it is meant for street riding right now, which, by the way, that app I just mentioned before, there's continually updated firmware for the vest, and you can access the app, and if a new firmware comes out, you can get it on your app and then update the firmware on the vest entirely over the air through the app. But yeah, for now, this is a street-only airbag system. Alpinestars has the TechAir Race that zips into leathers for track purposes. This has a special place in my heart because obviously I've now put it under the biggest of tests, getting hit by a car, which I definitely did not want to do. But as I stand here now talking to the camera, it's a testament that the technology works. And personally, I think everybody should wear an airbag when they ride a motorcycle. It doesn't have to be this one. Anything, even the tethered ones, just protect yourself in some way, because I think I'm living proof that the technology works and it's worth the investment in yourself so that you're not investing in the hospital later on. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty wrap up of the Alpinestars Tech-Air 5 airbag system. It's next level protection, because really it's, how do you put a price or how do you put a value on your own safety? Other than a helmet, I can't think of a more important piece of equipment to wear. So be sure to go to Motorcycle.com. I'll have a written review of the TechAir 5 system there, where you can read more about it. And yeah, until next time, ride safe and see you later.